Chapter 1. The Lady in the Glacier.
All passengers destined for New Vermont step onto the gangway. We have arrived.
Grandfather, are you sure about this? He's dangerous, isn't he? Every story I've heard about him from the drift makes me worried. We could be making a terrible mistake.
Calm yourself, Mabel. He's a harmless old man now. I'm an old man too. We didn't come all this way for nothing. And besides, this is the only way that we'll ever make it through the Dade winds.
I just don't understand why we need to do this in the first place.
I made a promise to someone very special to me a long time ago. One day, when you're older, you'll understand what that type of promise means.
Hello?
Hiya, Lily. It's good to see you.
Fletcher! Is that you? How long has it been?
Aye, I would say it's been a wee bit too long.
I hardly recognized you with so much gray in your hair. I've been looking forward to seeing you ever since I received your letters.
For a moment, I hardly recognized you too. You've not aged a day, Lily. But I'm not accustomed to you greeting me on two legs. It's good to see you again, after all these years. This is my granddaughter, Mabel.
Granddaughter? The last time I saw her, she was a baby. Look at her now. She's starting to look a lot like her grandmother. Speaking of which, where is she? We'll be seeing her, won't we?
Not yet, but you'll be able to see her later. She's waiting near the shore. But before you see her, I would like to have a talk with Simon. I'm sure you know why. Is he about?
Right this way. I'm sure he'd be happy to see you again. He talks about you and your wife often, you know. Even with his memory fading. He remembers those days. At least, the feeling of it all. Sometimes the details slip his mind.
Mabel, away with us and go tend to your grandmother. She should still be by the docks. I'll meet you there.
Yes, Grandfather.
You know, I cannot blame the lad. I reminisce about the age of the drift all the time too.
Simon, we have guests. Can you recognize Fletcher's voice?
Well, hello, Simon.
Fletcher? Is that really you? I thought you'd be dead by now.
Simon, he sent us a letter. Don't you remember?
No, you're right. I'm terribly sorry. I forgot for a moment. So, what's in the letter again? I think you wanted me to do something.
I'd like for you to call a northward wind for me. One that could send a sailboat past the Dade winds.
Ah. I used to be able to do that. But I can't. Not without...
Dinna fret, Simon. I have something for you.
Is that what I think it is?
Aye, that it is.
I'm afraid I've forgotten how to use it. I find it hard to recall the days where I still could. Can you tell me what they were like?
Dinna fret, Simon. I think I can help remind you. I have something else for you as well. Do you can remember this music box?
I'm beginning to remember. I was some sort of sailor back then, right? I remember my ship, the sea, and I remember a woman with a jewel brought us together. What was her story again?
I can help you remember. I'll tell you her whole story. I'll start with the day I met her, on a sunny day, in 1789.
Fletcher, I need you to focus. Bring that damn lantern over here. I can't see a fucking thing in this cave.
All right, Biden. I'm on my way. You really do curse like a sailor, you know that, Biden?
That's because we are sailors.
Nay, we are timbermen. The sailing part is a matter of circumstance.
Well, today we're neither, because we're here to be treasure hunters. Captain's orders.
I didn't know why the captain sends us to search every uncharted island cave for treasure. We've already got all the lumber the ship can carry, and it's not like we ever find treasure anyway.
Fortune may smile on us one day yet. Fletcher? Fletcher! Get back here. You're getting distracted again. What the devil do you see anyway?
Biden, come over here. I think I finally found something.
Raise the lantern. Let me get a better look. By God! What is that?
It looks like a woman entombed in ice. But how? What in the bloody tropics? How was there ice in this cave?
I'm certain there's some rational explanation. Perhaps the cave blows heat away with the winds, or... Oh, Christ, never mind that. Look at her neck. What is she wearing on that necklace?
It looks like some kind of gemstone, but I've never seen one like that before.
Fortune has smiled upon us after all. All we have to do is break that ice open and we finally have some treasure to show for this voyage.
It ain't right to steal jewels from the dead. I'm no grave robber.
To hell with that, she's long dead. What use has she for gemstones? I doubt she'll miss it. Take your axe and crack open that ice.
Fine, I'll do it. That's what it takes for us to finally get this done with.
Well, Fletcher, what are you waiting for? Take the damn gem.
Do you not see? Hold the lantern for a moment. Her body isn't stiff or frozen. Byron, I think she may be alive.
That's impossible. Just take the damn jewel so we can get out of this godforsaken cave.
Nay, I'm not giving up like that.
What are you doing, Fletcher? You trying to bloody kiss her? You don't have to kiss a frozen corpse. I'm sure there'll be plenty of maidens happy to see you when we reach our next port.
Biden, for the love of God, she needs breath. I think I can revive her. Look, she's awake. Byron, she's alive.
By God.
Wait. Fret not, lass. We're here to help you. Come on, breathe in. There we go. Now, listen to me. We found you frozen in this cave. We'll never get in the drift. So you don't know what the drift is? Wait, well, what year do you think it is, lass? Ma'am, I regret to inform you that it's no longer 1779. It's nearly 1790. You've been entombed in ice for over a decade. The world has changed a wee bit since you've been asleep. Walk with us. I'll tell you everything. My name is Fletcher, and this sourpuss over here is Biden. We sail the seas of the drift, looking for lumber. Our old ship is a great floating lumber mill. Aye, the drift, right. It's what we call the land as it is now, and the age that we live in. A decade past, the continent split into new ones, and into countless islands. Those new lands drifted into the seas in every which way. Ever changing, there are times when they break and merge and slip miles away into the sea. It's as though the lands have a mind of their own, and their own wanderlust to satisfy. Aye, so that does leave us with one question. What exactly do we do with you? Well, there are a few choices. We can leave you here to fend for yourself, but I didn't think that would be wise. We could also bring you to a port where you could find your way home, but I didn't think where you came from still exists as you knew it. So, that leaves us with one last choice. Will you join us and sail the seas? There is much of the world you have yet to see, and I'd love to show it all to you. Nay, we didn't call it the drift. Us sailors have a different word for it. In this age, we call the seas the blue infinity. Chapter 2, Black Flag on the Mist. So, what'll it be then, lass? We'll make a sailor of you yet. Just you watch. I'll show you the way to our ship. Oh, that little thing. Nay, that's our rowboat that we use to reach land when we weigh anchor. Out yonder is our ship. Go ahead, lass. Ladies first. Take a seat in the rowboat. Me and Byron will take you to Gaia's mercy. Aye, there's all sorts of odd ships in the drift. You can't exactly build roads or cities anymore, what with the earth splitting whenever it feels. So we make do. All industry is conducted aboard great travelling ships. I'm a timberman by trade, and a sailor by circumstance.
He ain't joking. Fletcher can swing an axe harder than anyone I've ever met. But he's a slack of a sailor.
Pish-posh, Byron. Weren't you meant to be some manner of scholar?
I was studying to become a naturalist in the noble science of geology. But the drift put an end to those ambitions.
Aye, the drift changed all of our lives. Nearly as much as being trapped in a glacier for a decade, but well enough. We've arrived. Come on up. I'll give you a hand.
Welcome aboard Gaia's Mercy. Go ahead, have a look around. Since you'll be joining the crew, we ought to introduce you to Captain Carmichael.
Speaking of, where is that old codger?
At the helm, same as I always am. And who are you calling a codger?
Apologies. I meant to say the Honourable Captain Codger.
Well then, what have you two dug up? I sent you in search of a treasure, but it looks like one of you stole a bride.
She's lost and alone, and she says she wants to join the crew.
Ha! 'Tis bad luck having womenfolk aboard sailing ships.
Nonsense and superstition. Many women sail, especially since the drift began. Besides, she's got nowhere else to go. If it's a curse to have a woman aboard, then I presume we'd be twice as cursed if we left her poor soul as a castaway.
Fine. I presume she'll be expecting a salary. I'll give her a cotton food until she proves herself seaworthy. Then we'll see about pay. Fletcher, go show her the ropes, why don't ye? It's time we raise anchor.
Aye, aye, Captain. All right, lass. What are you waiting for? Come with me. I'll show you the basics. Up there is the mainsail. It's what pushes the ship for the most part. And up at the bow is the jib. It helps us tack against the wind. I'll explain what all that means later. Take hold of this rope. That rope's called the halyard. It raises and lowers the mainsail. When the crewmates raise anchor, untie the halyard from that cleat over there. Nothing too fancy, just undo the knot. You can do that, right? Very well. I'll tell you when to go.
Raise the anchor, lads!
Aye, aye.
Fletcher, lower the main.
Aye, aye. That's your mark, lass. Undo the halyard. Now, I can do my part. What's the others doing their work? A good sailor should know how every part of the ship operates.
All right, lads. The winds are fine today. I'll hold our heading. Stay sharp. Come here, young lady. I'd like to have a word with ye. So ye want to be a sailor, eh? What's your story? 'Tisn't often young ladies waltz off old empty islands onto sailing ships. If I believed half the tales sailors tell, I'd think you were a siren in disguise, luring us to our death. I beg ye pardon, lady. Did you say you were frozen solid for 10 years? You'll make a good sailor indeed. First day on the ship and you're already telling tall tales.
It's true. I was the one who found the lass. Frozen as the devil's heart. I found her while I was looking for whatever treasure you sent me on a wild goose chase for.
Well, shiver me timbers. Looks like one of those fairy tales Fletcher loves squawking about finally came true.
Captain, all stop believing in fairy tales the day you stop believing that we'll find the buried treasure.
You're right then. Fletcher, go show our new sailor around. I'm sure we'll find a proper power for her.
Aye, aye. Come here. Back in the rear of the ship is the most prized portion of Gaia's mercy. The lumber mill. Up top there's the blades of a windmill. They power the lumber mill. They use the wind, just like the sails do. If sailing's not your strong suit, you might want to give timber work a try. If you can swing an axe. Well, you've ought to get good at one or the other. Unless you want to have old Carmichael sending you to swab the decks and empty the bilge. Over skyward is the crow's nest. Once in a while I go up there just to see what I can see. There's no telling where islands may appear. What with the drift sending land masses every which way. I've seen some fine sights from up there. Oh, I've seen all kinds of things. Pretty vistas, islands split from Africa filled with lions and gazelles. I even saw Stonehenge once.
Ah, Stonehenge. I never thought I'd see that in my life, much less in the tropics. Truly a marvel of the ancients.
'Twas a sight to behold. Aye, lass. What use do you suppose the ancients had for such a monument? Oh, you've just got to use your imagination. I think it was a gateway to the other world. A door for all manner of fairy folk to come and commune with the ancients.
Nonsense. Get your head out of the clouds for once, Fletcher.
Well, what do you suppose it is then?
It was an unmoving point of reference for stargazers and philosophers of old to chart the path of the heavens.
And what made them so compelled by the stars that they insisted on felling a whole mountain to build the henge?
The ancient world was full of unforeseeable things. Disease, famine, wild animals. But the one thing they could learn to foresee was the movement of the stars. They guided them, revealed the seasons to them. That little bit of comfort was worth the effort of building an everlasting monument.
Interesting. I still think fairies were involved.
Fletcher, sometimes I wish I could be as innocent and boneheaded as you.
Alright, what are you two boys hooting about? Ain't you supposed to be working?
Just passing the time, Captain. We're sailing smooth. May as well have a laugh.
I suppose you're right. We're making good headway. How's about I join you in passing the time?
We could play a hand of cards.
Good idea. Except you ain't got a damn thing to bet. You spent all of your coin on those silly books.
And what about singing a shanty?
Aye, I can do that. Lads, who's in for a song?
Hey!
Fletcher, give me a rhythm. I'll start.
My son John was tall and slim, and he had a leg for every limb. But now he's got no legs at all, for he ran a race with a cannonball. Timmy Roo dum da, fuddle riddle da, whack for the little Timmy Roo dum da. Oh, were you drunk or were you blind when you left your two fine legs behind? Or was it sailing on the sea, brought your two fine legs right down to the knee? Timmy Roo dum da, fuddle riddle da, whack for the little Timmy Roo dum da. I was not drunk, I was not blind when I left my two fine legs behind. 'Twas a cannonball on the 5th of May that shot my two fine legs clean away. Timmy Roo dum da, fuddle riddle da, whack for the riddle Timmy Roo dum da.
Oh, my name's John, I'm tall and slim, and I have a leg for every limb. I lost them fighting for the king, and he never gave me a fucking thing.
Timmy Roo dum da, fuddle riddle da, whack for the riddle Timmy Roo dum da.
Byron, I didn't think that's how the lyrics go.
Ha! The lyrics go however I fucking sing them.
Aye, maybe the lady can join in next time we sing that one.
Aye, she can't be a sailor if she cannot join in a shanty. Which one should we teach her? Captain?
Huh?
Are you listening?
The sails have lost their wind.
Shall we adjust the sails into the wind?
Nay, there be no winds to catch. We've just stopped.
But there are still crests on the water in the distance. How could that be possible if there's no wind? Did we end up in the dead winds?
Nay. We're a far cry from the dead winds. This be unnatural. Byron, take your spyglass, scout the waters.
Aye, aye.
What do you see out yonder?
There's a rolling fog and a mighty wind coming in.
Anything else?
A sailing ship.
Whose flag are they flying?
A black flag.
Ah, pirates. Whose black flag is it? Can ye identify it?
I can't tell. The ship's coming in with the fog. It's hard to read, but I think it says, "Woe be it to all who sail beneath the eye of..."
Never mind that. The ship is moving in fast.
Brace yourself, lads! A pirate ship has eyes on us. All hands to deck! Keep calm, boys.
Captain, what are we supposed to do? We cannot fight back. We've no cannons, no swords, no guns. We cannot even run. We're dead in the water.
Let me negotiate.
Fret not, lass. I trust Captain Carmichael, but hide that gemstone away. Tuck it under your collar.
Ahoy there, mateys! What a fortunate and opportune chance encounter. I hope you don't mind us lowering our plank and coming aboard. I couldn't help but notice you were sailing the Blue Infinity with no guns on your ship. Don't you know there are pirates around? How about you give us a warmer welcome? I think we'll make good friends.
Fine. Do what ye will.
Affix the plank, mateys.
Aye, aye.
stand beside me. Who knows what these cretins will think of doing if they see you. Do not show any fear.
Ahoy, Captain. Pleasure to meet ya. You can call me Clara the Tech, Captain of the Prometheus. I'd shake your hand with my right, but I don't suppose shaking hands with a hook is pleasant.
My name is Captain Robert Carmichael, and I weren't eager to shake hands with you in the first place.
And here I thought, a ship captain, we're supposed to be gentlemen. I suppose my profession is of ill repute, but I think I can show you just what a gentleman I can be. I'm here to parley for goods.
If you want gold, we haven't much to take. We're a bartering ship. All we have is lumber. Unless you're here for logs, you'll leave this parlay disappointed.
Hush, Fletcher. Let me handle this. But he's right. We carry scant coin. All we have is lumber for trade, and I don't suppose you came here for barter.
Oh, you have something. And we did come here to barter. We can make a deal. You give us everything you have of value, and we let you continue sailing the blue infinity safely.
Ye supposed to threaten me? I couldn't help but notice ye boarded me ship with no swords or muskets, and only one pistol between the lot of ye.
Oh, we don't need weapons to menace ya. The flag is all we need to strike fear into the hearts of captains. Take a closer look at it.
Oh, God.
Do you recognize it now? Now let's see what you have of value on the ship.
We already told you. We haven't got anything.
Oh.
I ain't lying to you.
What about that fine young lady you're with? Are you sure she hasn't got anything worth taking?
She's got nothing neither.
Captain, look around her neck. She's trying to hide a jewel necklace from us.
Is that so? Let me have a closer look. My, what a fine gemstone. It'll fetch a high price. Did you really think you could keep this hidden? What else have you got hiding on the ship?
Take your filthy hook off of the lass. She has no business with you.
Oh, well, I am open to negotiations. How about I let you keep the gemstone, and I'll be taking the girl instead? What do you think, Olaf?
Oh, I think that's a deal I would gladly take. Can we, share her?
Sounds like my crew agrees.
I said keep your filthy hook off of her.
Oh, let me remind you that you aren't exactly in a position to bargain. You've got no cannons, no swords, and are against a member of a fleet commanded by the most powerful pirate on the blue infinity. If ye are to retaliate against our demands, then there'll be hell to pay. Don't you sailors know that?
I'm not a sailor. I'm a timberman, and I haven't got a sword. But I do have an axe.
Don't you just stand there, mateys! Get him!
Calm your heart, lass. I know my way around a bout of fisticuffs.
A fine mess you've gotten us into, Fletcher.
Quit your yapping and keep on fighting.
I'll make you pay for what you did to Claw, you big Scottish...
We're pushing him back, lads.
Keep on! Retreat, pirates! Onto the ship!
Get on with you, scallywags, and don't be coming back!
All will be coming back. I'll be telling the Admiral of your transgressions. Gaia's mercy will be sunk a fortnight hence.
We'll see about that, now that you got 2 hooks for hands. Well done, lads. We really gave him what for.
What in the devil was that, Fletcher? Have you gone mad? I ought to have you stripped and flogged.
You saw, Captain. Those pirates would all talk. I ain't afraid of them. Besides, they were going to take the loss. What was I supposed to do?
Didn't you see their flag?
I did. What of it?
They fly the black flag of Blind Simon.
I'm not familiar with him.
He leads the most fearsome fleet of pirates on the seas. Captain of Persephone's bleeding heart. They say he can't die, that he commands the tides and the winds with only his voice.
Sailors' myths. Nothing but exaggerations and tales.
Maybe so, but no ship that has ever battled with him has ever won. The only survivors who live to tell the tales are the ones who surrender. That much is true. They say his ship moves quick as lightning, with the wind always at his side, and the blue infinity itself making way for his terrible wrath.
Nonsense. Those are tales spun to make ships surrender without firing a single shot. Those pirates were weak. You saw. Their master must be now different. I am tired of bending to the will of pirates. There's not much to go around in the drift. We've got to start telling them now, before they take everything we can possibly give. You must at least agree with that, Captain.
Aye.
All right then, Captain. We're awaiting orders.
Pull the halyards, boys. We're setting sail for Coruña, supposing the drift hasn't moved its position again.
Coruña?
There we can trade lumber for arms. If we meet one of Blind Simon's fleet again, we will answer their negotiations with cannon fire. Gentlemen, turn the sails.
Aye, aye, aye.
Drink your rum and sing one last song tonight, lads. For tomorrow, we shall be at war.
Chapter 3. The Liar's Den.
Blast it all, how long have we been on this bloody ship for?
It's only been 3 weeks, Byron.
You mean 3 years?
Quit exaggerating, you bellyacher. Besides, we're almost at Corona.
You don't say.
If you did your job and stayed in the crow's nest, you'd have seen it hours ago. There it is. Well, at least till the drift decides to move it again.
Yes, sweet, sweet Coruña. Land beneath my feet, rum, beautiful Spanish ladies.
Byron, ye incorrigible lecher, come yourself. I need ye to ready the sails and anchor before we dock.
Aye, aye.
Aye. Byron always acts this way when we land, especially if it's in Coruña. Oh, Coruña. It's a trade hub, one of the more stable landmasses there are. The drift sent it far, but it's only moved once and stayed put ever since for some remarkable reason. Aye, there be many an odd thing about the drift. Some islands move slightly once every few months. Some move thousands of miles and never move again. It's a puzzle I didn't think will ever be solved in my lifetime. Patterns of islands moving ain't even the queerest thing. There are things like the dead winds. So, none of the other sailors told you about the dead winds. They're part of the world where the winds don't blow. No ship can sail there. And stranger still, once an island goes into the dead winds, the drift never moves it again. It stays there, untouchable, unreachable, forever. And now, there is a tinge of melancholy in knowing there's parts of the world that'll never be seen again. But I think we have more urgent things to worry about. I'd say we're better off worrying about blind Simon. You know, I once knew a lad named Simon. He worked on the first ship I ever sailed on, a whaling boat. I didn't know much about the lad, except that he was a better whaler than I was. He was always keeping to himself, like he was running from something. I wonder if he's still alive after the drift. Nay, I hadn't the stomach for whaling. I left that crew after the first voyage and started timber work. I swore I'd never sail again, but the drift had other plans for me, aye? Life has a way of circling back around.
Land ho! Raise the sails, lad. We'll be landing at port soon.
Aye, aye.
Weigh anchor! All right, lads. We've made it to the port of Corunna. Remember, 'tis not a leave. We're here for supplies.
Captain, for the love of God, you can't keep working us like this.
We could very well be pursued by pirates as we speak. We have no time to waste.
The hell we don't. By the devil's red fucking balls, Captain, it's almost dusk. If you want supplies and armaments, there aren't going to be a single stinking man or woman in Corunna making trades the time we reach them. We can take the night off.
Fine. We can take a night off. But I'll have to keep an eye on the crew. I can't have you going off philandering with the ladies.
We can go to the Liars then and say hello to old Johnny.
Johnny? That rotten, lying, bullshitting, foul-mouthed son of a bitch?
Aye.
Absolutely. I fucking love that bastard.
Then it's off to the Liars' Den.
Moor the ship and drop the plank, boys. We're going to the Liars' Den.
Yeah! Welcome to Corunna, one of the last bastions of stability in the drift. The heart of trade on this latitude. You can get anything you want here. Whale oil, wood, drink, even gold and diamonds. And you can get good food here. A whole lot better than the dried codfish and hardtack we've been eating the past 3 weeks. I've got a question for you, lass. What did you do before you got frozen? You must have had some manner of life before you ended up on that island. Roads, you say? As in, all the way up in Greece? Well, that didn't used to be an island. At least not before the drift. Well, that needn't matter. What were you doing there? Cave cartography. Odd choice of career. Is that how you found that odd gemstone? Aye. That's a long time to carry something like that without selling it. It must be a real treasure to you. Though I can't help but wonder. If you were stuck in the ice for 10 years, and the drift began 10 years ago, do you ever wonder if they have something to do with one another? Nay, I've never heard of people ending up frozen solid, unless the drift sent them down to the Arctic, of course. But then again, none of them had that blue gemstone you have. Aye, just something to ponder. I would hate to have to break you out of another glacier.
Fletcher, we're here. Oh, I cannot wait to get some real fucking food.
Calm yourself, Byron. You're going to make us all look mad. After you. Ladies first. Johnny, is that you?
No, I'm his twin brother. Did Johnny never tell you about me?
Oh, really? You're twins?
I got you again, Fletcher. You'll believe damn near anything.
Ah, I was just playing along. I'd never believe a word that come out of your mouth, Johnny.
Have you got that book I lent you?
Aye, I have it here. Gulliver's Travels. A fine book.
You know, Gulliver's Travels is based on a true story. Did you find any Lilliputians while out on your journeys?
Nay, but I'll believe in Lilliputians before I ever believe a word to come out of your blabbering mouth.
So, who's that lady with you? Did you finally save a princess from the claws of an evil king and sweep her off her feet?
Nay, but the truth is even stranger. I found her frozen in a glacier, and I cut her out. Isn't that right, lass?
And they say I'm the liar. So what will you be drinking? You must be thirsty after your long voyage from Scotland.
I've not seen Scotland since I was a wee lad, Johnny. Not that there really is such a thing as Scotland anymore.
You know, I'm a Scotsman myself on my father's side. I'm actually related to the King of Scotland.
Oh, I won't fall for that, Johnny. There ain't a king of Scotland. At least not in this century. Or the last. And I wouldn't believe you were Scottish if you came to me with a kilt on and a bagpipe up your arse.
My apologies. I didn't know you were supposed to play the bagpipe that way. I've been putting the pipe in my mouth this whole time. All right. I might not be the King of Scots, but I'm the King of Shots. I was born with a crown on my head and a bottle of rum in my hand.
Very well then, your highness, King of Shots. Why don't you put that crown back on your head and pick up a bottle and pour us all around? Charge it to Gaia's mercy.
With pleasure. I call a toast. Long live Gaia's mercy, and may an ill-fated storm strike down all the fleet of blind Simon.
Cheers!
Very well, boys. I will now be parting ways and indulging in what I really came here for. The women.
Hola, marinero. ¿Quiere bailar?
Si guapa, yo soy muy bueno bailador.
Si tú me das lecciones de baile, yo te daré lecciones de español.
I'm not sure I understood all of that, but, si, señorita.
Well, that didn't take him long. Well,
What are you looking at me like that for, Captain?
aren't you gonna ask the fine lady you're with to dance?
But Captain, I've got 2 left feet. I cannot dance worth a damn.
When I was your age, I could tear the floor to splinters with me dancing shoes. Still can. Let me show you how it's done. Madam, may I have this dance? Dancing is easy. Just put a hop in your step. Just follow me lead, see? And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I'll give you a little twirl. See, you're a fine dancer. Maybe you can give Fletcher a lesson. Or at this rate, you can teach me a thing or two. Right, I'll let you down now. I can't dance for as long as I used to. Well, get on with it, Fletcher. It isn't right to keep a fine lady waiting all night. Fletcher! Captain's orders. Ask her for a dance.
All right, lass.
Madam.
All right. If I've got to be proper. Madam, may I have this dance? I'll give it a go. All right. I suppose I'll lead then. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right. I've got a little step. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm getting the hang of it.
For God's sakes, Fletcher! Put some pep in your step! You're bored to death dancing like that!
All right. Hang on there, lass. I think I'm ready to go just a wee bit faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Well, I suppose I'm not so bad of a dancer after all.
Now dipper you get!
Are you ready, lass? Hang on tight. Now get you back up and dance. I never thought I could dance like this. Though I've never really tried. Do you think I can give you a twirl like Carmichael did? Alright, let's go. Whoa. It needs a bit of work, but I think I can practice with you.
There you go, lad. That's how you dance.
Well, Captain, how did I do?
Not bad for a fellow that's good for nothing but swinging an axe. Now don't go having too much fun. Remember, these are times of war. We're here for supplies and arms. I don't suppose our next encounter with one of Simon's dogs will be so fair-weathered.
Those pirates are not but a lot of barking hounds that lost their teeth long ago. I'm certain that they will turn tail and run at the first sound of cannon fire.
Are you sure we'll find them here?
They must be here. If not, we'll keep looking until we find them.
Look over your shoulder, but not too fast. See that? Keep your head down. Those are Blind Simon's cronies. I think they're after us.
Good evening, Johnny.
Oh. Hello. Why, if it isn't Francesca Two Eyes and, Olaf. I didn't expect to see an emissary of the great and powerful Blind Simon here tonight. What do you want? Drinks are free for, esteemed pirates such as yourselves.
Shut up, Johnny. I don't want a damn drink. I want information. We're looking for the crew of Gaia's Mercy. Have you seen a sailing crew of timbermen here? With a woman? A woman that was wearing a very unusual blue gemstone.
Oh, timbermen?
You're taking an awful long time to answer, Johnny. What's the matter?
Look, I don't know who you're looking for. I haven't seen anything of the sort.
Tell me something worth hearing.
I already told you. I haven't seen anything of the sort.
You've told your last lie, Johnny. We saw Gaia's Mercy docked in the harbor. Now either you stop lying, or I cut your tongue out.
I won't say a thing.
Fine. Have it your way.
Let the lad go.
Fletcher, you imbecile! What do you think you're doing?
Is that one of them?
Oh, yeah. I recognize that face. One of Carmichael's crew. He's the timberman that took Claw's right hand.
I knew that little scene would draw you out. Typical. Boys who like playing hero are so predictable.
What are you here for anyway? If you want that English Bellin's right hand back, you ain't getting it. I tossed it to the sharks a fortnight past.
Oh, we're not here for that. I had a little talk with Blind Simon. Asked him to sink your ship as retribution. But he didn't seem interested.
So, you didn't come here for a fight?
We came here for the girl with the gem.
You'll never find her.
Oh.
She died of consumption. We gave her a burial at sea, and she took the gem with her.
You're a worse liar than Johnny. Olaf, search the place.
Aye, aye.
Don't move, lass. Stay down.
Now, where could that girl be hiding? There's nowhere to hide in here.
Keep looking, Olaf. There must be more members of their crew here.
You've already found one.
Oh? Are you going to give us the girl?
No, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
Go ahead. Take your swing. Oh. Did you think it would be that easy? I'm not one of Claw's soft, so-called gentleman pirates. I am the right hand of Blind Simon.
Let him go, you stinking witch.
Oh, you'll have to get through me first.
You weren't so tough the last time we fought.
Oh, do you want to say that again? I came prepared this time. Take one step towards your crewmate, and I shoot.
You are a damn coward.
Maybe I am, but I don't want to hear any more of your gibberish. I want the girl. If anyone in this tavern has seen the woman with the blue gem, hand her over, or I'll shoot this man dead on the spot.
And what if the lass ain't here?
Then I'll shoot you anyway. I've been dreaming of it since I last saw you. If I can't get the girl, I'll get payback. I'll count down from 3. 3, 2.
Lass, what do you think you're doing?
There she is. Olaf, keep that gun pointed at our Scottish friend. I don't want him trying to intervene.
Aye, aye.
Come to us. Don't worry. We won't hurt you. Blind Simon wants you alive.
Don't listen to them. Pirates are liars and knaves. All of them.
Quiet. Make another sound and I'll order you shot. Olaf, take her away. We're returning to Persephone's bleeding heart.
You're a lucky girl, you know. Francesca wanted to kill you and take the gem. Had Simon not orders to bring you alive, you'd already be dead.
Lass, I'll come back for you. I won't let those knaves get their way. I won't let you take her.
Olaf, shoot him.
Aye, aye. I missed his heart. My aim must be off.
Forget about him. The captain is waiting.
Lass, hold out. I won't let them get away with this. Lass.
Quit struggling. You won't escape. No one is coming to save you.
I'll ready the rowboats. Get in, girlie. Ladies first. Oh, I don't know what Simon has in mind for you. That's none of my business. But I assure you, it won't be pleasant.
There's the ship. Get ready to board.
Come on, get on the ship.
We have arrived. Our voyage was successful.
Well, bring her to me.
Lass, stand before the captain.
Do you know who I am? My name is Blind Simon.
Chapter 4. Beneath His Eye.
So, should we take it now? She must have it, I'm sure. Once it's done, we can throw her overboard.
No, that won't be necessary. I'll take her from here. I intend to deal with her in private.
But, Captain, what if she knows how to use it? She could be more dangerous than we think.
Are you doubting me?
No. No, Captain. Here. She's all yours.
You, follow me. Take a seat. These are my quarters. I hope you can forgive the lack of color in the decor. I don't exactly have an eye for these kinds of things. Now, if you really possess what I think you have, we have much to discuss. You have one of Neptune's treasures, don't you? You know what I'm talking about, the blue gem. Allow me to touch it. You still don't trust me, do you? Well, I can't blame you. I wouldn't trust a pirate either. But I think I found what I'm looking for. Tell me, do you even know what that stone on your neck is? It's the sweat of Neptune, one of the last traces of power of the old gods before they abandoned the world. You think I'm telling you some sort of tall tale, don't you? But it's not so far-fetched, is it? You know it's special. I can tell by how tightly you cling to it. Even now, with all the odds against you, you can sense its chill touch on your skin as you clutch it. You can feel its power. I suppose you want answers. I know a thing or two. There are 3 gems: the blood, the sweat, and the tears of Neptune. The final labor of the god of the sea. So far I found 1. And now I have 2. I kept you alive because I had to be sure the stories were true, and that the stone was real. But I don't want to take it from you. I want to destroy it. When all 3 of those stones are reunited, a new sovereign of the sea will be born. The drift will end. I can't have that happen. You really want to know why? Look at me. This ship, everything I have, it's because of the drift. It brought forth a golden age of opportunity for pirates such as myself. In my old life, I was nobody. Born into nothing. Born to a father who broke his back all his life working with nothing to pass down to me. Born to a world that would forget the moment I died. I tried to break free from the hand I was dealt. To make an honest living. When I was only 18 years of age, I joined the crew of a whaling ship. 2 years on that stinking tub. I learned everything I needed to know about sailing. But when it came time for me to make my pay, the captain had a habit of taking a few coins from my purse for himself. Eventually, he took to forgetting to pay me altogether. This was simply life for me in those times. When I confronted the captain for my pay, he declared it a mutiny. Had me thrown overboard. You know, sailors tell stories all the time. Perhaps I'd be better off showing you. Look into my eye. The green stone in my eye holds the tears of Neptune. It speaks to the spirit of the winds. I call, and they answer. Look into my eye, and I'll show you what I saw. Captain Wilson, you can't keep shortchanging me like this. I am a sailor, good as any. You're lucky to have me on board.
This again? Pipe down. You're gonna give the other sailors ideas.
Ideas? To hell with that. I just want my damn pay. It's been weeks and we're coming to port soon.
I said quiet! You'll get your pay when I damn well think you've earned it. Now go fasten the rigging like I said. There's a storm ahead.
Then you can weather it without me.
Oh, that sounds like mutiny to me.
Call it whatever you like.
Lads, restrain Simon.
Aye, aye.
Hey!
Nothing personal, Simon. Captain's orders.
Let me go.
It seems that young Simon wishes to leave the ship. I think we should honor his wishes. Throw him overboard.
Damn you, Captain. May your ship be sunk by that storm. May Davy Jones swallow your soul.
Quiet. Another word out of you and I'll strike you blind.
To hell with you.
I said, quiet. Make it walk the plank.
You heard him, Simon. Start walking. Push him overboard already.
I was blind and bleeding. I didn't know up from down. Until I heard the most curious sound. I heard tell of sirens using their songs to lure sailors to their death. But I was already as good as dead, so I followed the sound. I swam and swam until my muscles burned. And then I washed up in a cave. I never saw the woman who saved me. But I swear she was a siren, real and true. She tended to my wounds and gave me food and water, every single day. Until one day. One day she was gone. But she did leave me one thing. This strange glass eye. When I put it in, everything changed. I knew who I was. I knew it was my destiny to possess this treasure. Every day since then, I've tried to find that siren again. It was like an obsession. I even made this music box to help me remember her song. Go ahead and open it. It's not a trick. For the last 10 years, I've sailed the seas hoping to hear that song again. Hoping it would lead me to the rest of Neptune's treasures. I never would have thought that someone like you would have found them first. Now that you understand everything, I need you to hand over the stone. I'll destroy it and let you go free. My only concern is ensuring that the drift never ends. I'll give you the privilege of living your life. What do you think you're doing? I'm not so easy to disobey. Oh, and I'm not quite blind. There are ways to see without eyes. Every movement creates a disturbance in the air. And I can feel it. Every crest in the water, every raindrop falling from the sky. I feel it all. I can feel your heartbeat. And I know that you're afraid. And I know exactly how to make you give me what I want. Let's make this easy. Give me what I want. Go ahead, try to run. There's nowhere to go.
It's the girl! She's escaping!
Pirates, surround her.
Nowhere to run, lass.
Now tell me, just where do you think you'll be able to run off to? Do you need some more persuasion? I don't know what you think you're doing protecting that gem, but trust me, it's not worth it. Now, I was going to...
Captain, is something wrong?
Someone is approaching us. I can feel them.
Where? I can't see anything. It's the dead of the night.
2 points off the starboard bow. 300 yards out. Use your spyglass. Tell me what you see.
It's too dark to tell. It looks like just one man in a rowboat. He's heading straight for us.
Extinguish the lanterns. Make sure he loses sight of us. Northern Wind, hear my command. Bring to us a store. Francesca, hold on to the girl. Oh, and Olaf, you should duck.
What? What the devil?
Did you really think you were through with me, you rotten pirate bastards?
It's the timberman! He's come back for us!
No, it looks to me like he came for the girl. Don't worry, he isn't a threat. I'll make sure he doesn't reach us. Francesca, take the girl to the plank.
Aye.
You know, I was hoping to be able to ensure the destruction of that stone. But it looks like we don't have much time left together. These waters are over 500 fathoms deep. If I can't destroy the stone, I can at least make sure no one finds it. Now, isn't this a familiar feeling? I seem to recall telling a story about being in the exact position you were in. Except I think there's one little detail I'm missing. Francesca, take her eyes.
With pleasure.
Now finish the job.
Chapter 5. Castaways.
I really did all of those things.
Aye, that you did.
I know it was 51 years ago. But if you're here now, does that mean she forgave me? How?
Fret not, Simon. You'll understand in due time. I've got to finish telling you the story. Lass, can you hear me? Lass, are you out there? Call out to me. Keep on swimming. Follow my voice. Whatever you do, don't go under. Come on, lass. Grab onto the oar. Alright. Now stay there. I'm going to pull you straight up. You're going to have to trust me. If you fret, you'll tip the boat. On the count of 3, just let go of the oar and hold on to my arms. 1, 2, 3. Breathe, lass. I've got you. Look at me. Your eyes. What have they done to you, lass? Hang on tight to me. I'll row you back. As long as those pirates think you're dead, you should be safe. Hold fast. These tides are strong, but I can push through them. Whatever you do, don't let go. I've only got to get this out of the stern. That wave up there is looking strong. Hang on tight, lass. Lass. Hang on! Lass! Lass! Lass, are you awake? I didn't know if I can stand. It took all of my strength to bring you here. I followed the song. Did you hear it too? I feel so cold. Am I still bleeding where that pirate bastard shot me? I cannot hardly feel it anymore. I'm tired, lass. Let me rest.
Ahoy. You can't see me, can you? But you can hear me, right? Come closer. I want to ask you something. Oh, of course. I wouldn't come into the water either if I were in your position. It is wise not to trust a siren, but you can trust me. I led him here when you were drowning. Didn't he tell you he followed a song? If I wanted to lure you to your death, I would have simply let him swim blindly until you both drowned. So, please, trust me. I can come to you. Had you eyes, I'd tell you to look away. The process of my transformation is unsettling to people who've never seen it before. I recognize that pendant. I've been looking for it for a very long time. Right. Him. We can save him, but I need your trust. There's somewhere safe we can take him. Grab his legs. I'll grab his shoulders. Follow my voice. He's a sturdy one, isn't he? Oh, I know. He'd have to be strong to do what he did. Especially with that bullet wound in his shoulder. But to do what he did... There's only one thing in this world that can drive a man to go that far, and it's not gold or glory. This way. I have a cave with some shelter, food, healing herbs, and a few supplies I've gathered out of flotsam and jetsam that I found in the sea. Lay him down here. Give me one moment. I'd like to clothe myself. Normally I'm modest about being seen, but you are blind and he is unconscious. For now, at least. Take these blankets and warm him with them. I'll start a fire. Let him rest. He needs warmth before we can do anything else. Take this salve and put it on his wounds when he awakens. It'll help him heal. There's food and water in here, too. You have something of mine. Don't worry, I don't want to take it from you. It has chosen you. You're the only one who can use it. You don't understand why, yet, and I don't expect you to trust me so quickly, but I'll need it back one day. Be careful using it. There's a certain madness that comes with using power meant for the gods. Now that it's chosen you, you also have the ability to destroy it. If you ever come to control its power, use it with great caution. There are so many things that can go wrong. Oh, so you've seen one of the other stones. It couldn't be the blood of Neptune. I have that one now, so that must mean you met Simon? That's troubling to hear, so I shouldn't be surprised by the life he's chosen. I once knew him. He was dear to me. But there was a bitterness in his heart against all of the world. I thought he would change one day. I suppose I was right, though his change was for the worse. I feel I should apologize. I made him what he is, in a sense. There's a softness in my heart for castaway sailors. I know, very unbecoming of a siren. You know, there's another castaway on this island. I was planning on eating him when I found him, but his stories were so amusing I couldn't help but keep him around. He's an interesting one. Call it my weakness. You'll meet the other one in due time. I have to go now. There are supplies to gather and much to be done. When you and your sailor are ready, come find me. There is a pool of water at the end of this cave with an underwater passage. You should be able to swim under it in one breath. I have the rest of what you'll need there when you're finally ready to leave this island. Oh, before I go, what were your names? All right. And that's Fletcher. My name is difficult to pronounce with the human tongue, but it sounds a lot like Lily. You may call me that if you wish. Stay here as long as you need.
Lass, did you bring me here? Does that mean the voice was real? I thought I had gone mad. Lass, what did those pirates do to you? Your eyes. Nay, I dinna regret what I did. I knew I didn't stand a chance against Simon and his whole crew, but somehow I knew I could rescue you. I didn't know how. Call it fate, or call it madness. Either way, I was right. Fret not about me, lass. I should be the one taking care of you, after all they've done to you. Lass, what are you doing? Alright, I'll take my shirt off. Alright, that's where they shot me. I got as far as digging the bullet and piece of cloth stuck in me before I went after you. Carmichael thought me mad when I went off in that rowboat. He must think me dead now. What's that you're putting on me? It feels warm. Nay. Do what you have to. I can endure a wee bit of pain. What after all we've been through already? And lass, save some of that salve. You'll need it too. Here, let me put it on your eyes. This may sting a wee bit, but it'll do you good. What happened on that ship? Why did they take your eyes? So, Simon was after that necklace. I knew it was special, but I didn't think it would get us into this much trouble. You must be regretting never finding that bloody rock. Nay, I haven't any trouble at all believing that the stories about Simon are true. Strange things exist in the drift. I just heard a siren sing, if you could believe that. What'll we do now? Gaia's Mercy is still at war with the fleet of Blind Simon. I want to help them, but I haven't a clue how we'll ever find them again. I didn't even know where we are now. I've never heard tell of this island before. Aye, right you are. The siren must have the answers. And you say that she knew Simon. We'll try to find our answers later. For now, I think we ought to take care of ourselves. Did that siren leave us any food and water? Alright. I think I have the strength to stand up now. I'll look for that food and water. You lie down, lass. You've done enough. Alright. I can stand. Well, it must be in one of these barrels. I'll just have to look around. I'll see if I can find us some food and water. That siren seemed like she was terribly, lass, do you can hear that too? That voice. That sounds terribly familiar to me. Are you telling me that the siren said there was another castaway on this island? I didn't see a thing, except for ruined ships. Who could possibly be alive here? Nay, that could not be him. How could it possibly be that pirate? If that turns out to be that pirate bastard, I didn't know what we're going to do. I'm still exhausted. We're blind. Hold your ground, lass.
Ahoy, Lily! I got the firewords you said you needed. Should I put it down here?
Claw.
Timberman.
So, you do remember me then, do you?
Of course I remember. The rotten Scottish bastard who took me last good hand.
Well, did Simon send you to follow me? Did you come for a fight? Because I'll gladly give it to you.
I have no business with blind Simon. He disposed of me after you ran me crew off.
I'll not trust a word to come out of the mouth of a pirate. Will you have at me or not?
Of course not. What sort of gentleman pirate would I be, were I to trade blows with a bleeding and half-starved man who's barely standing? And a blind woman, too. Ha! I have a code of honour. You'll be getting nothing from me but pity.
I'll have none of your pity. What with you having two hooks for hands, I should be the one pitying you.
Oh? You think you can talk to me like that? You back-biting, garmless, addle-pat, jockey bob-tailed, blunderbuss tosser!
Oh, I've had enough of your blabbering, you boot-licking Englishman. Ye stump-handed dubber. Ye festering sir on blind Simon's arse. You rotten scallywag, you bloody... Chloe, if I could stand, I'd kick your head in.
Are you ready to talk, Timberman?
I suppose I haven't got much of a choice in the matter anymore.
Like I said, I haven't got a thing to do with blind Simon any longer. When you and your crew of Timberman disgraced me, I came to him for help. He didn't want to help me sing Gaia's Mercy in retribution. When I told him the story, all he wanted to do was talk about the gem around the lass's neck.
And then what happened?
I insisted we take retribution. He became furious with me and asked me if I remembered who was in charge. He said I ought to walk the plank for me insolence. I know what that madman does to people before he throws them over. So I ran and jumped overboard myself, before he could take my eyes. It seems your lass spent some time aboard Persephone's bleeding heart, by the looks of her.
Did you hear the song too?
Aye, that I did.
How long have you been on this island for?
A fortnight and 2 days. I spent half of those days dreaming of throwing Simon overboard, and the other half dreaming of clawing your eyes out.
Is that all you've done?
Nay, I've been working tirelessly, difficult as it is, without my hands. I've been repairing a derelict ship that the Siren lured here. I'm hoping to get off this island within a month.
And where are you planning on sailing it?
Headlong into the bow of Persephone's bleeding heart. I'll be taking my revenge on him, no matter the cost.
Well then, Claw, in that case, do you think you could use an extra pair of hands? Chapter 6, Tears of Neptune.
Fletcher, come here and switch out me right hand. I'm finished with a hammer.
All right, will you be needing the hook?
Nay, the one with a pincer grip. I need to hold this bloody thing down.
I could always hold it down for you.
I'd rather do it myself. I can't let myself go soft. I might not have hands, but if we're to face Persephone's bleeding heart, I'll have to be at my most disciplined. So please, let me do it. However much of a struggle it is, 'tis struggle that makes a man.
Suit yourself.
All right, there we go. There, I got it in. You know, lass, when I was a young boy, me mother told me that I ought to learn to read and write. She said I had better go to school and learn. Otherwise, I'd spend all my life working with me hands like a pauper. She'd be proud to see me now. After the life I've lived, I'll never have to work with me hands again.
Aye, I wonder what my mother would say if she could see me now.
Knowing Scottish mothers, I presume she'd say, Fletcher, you're nearly 40 years of age, and you're giving me no single grandchild. Get off of your bloody island and get you to Wading Chapel, or I pick you away for you myself. And she didn't be pretty.
Aye, that she would. It's almost as if you knew my mother personally. I could nearly hear her voice as you were speaking. It looks as though the repairs are nearly done. How much more work do you think she needs before she's ready to set sail?
I think we could finish it today or tomorrow, depending on how many finishing touches we want to put on her. Isn't she a beauty? She was ragged and barely holding together when I found her. I picked her out of a whole row of ships, and Lily had run aground. This ship was the only one that had the good fortune of not wrecking completely.
What'll we name her? She's not exactly a huge ship, but I feel she deserves a grandiose name.
I'll think about it. Aye, lass. Want to take a rest? I suppose we've worked long enough. If we work any harder, the ship will be finished before Lily can make the sails.
So, what was it like? I mean, living alone with Lily before we arrived.
Well, if truth be told, she was something frightening when I first saw her. I thought she'd be the death of me. I shudder at the thought of what she did to the original captain of this ship after she wrecked it. Fortunately for me, my gentlemanly charms kept me alive. Believe it or not, it was a great deal less frightening than working under Simon. That's for certain.
I don't suppose a man as fearsome as him would be at all amused by a pirate who fancies himself a gentleman.
Ha! I don't fancy myself a gentlemanly pirate. I am a gentleman pirate. If there still be ballrooms in this ruined world, I'll be sailing to every city and sweeping queens and duchesses right off of their feet.
Well then, be a gentleman and help the lass down.
Fletcher, is that there wound in your shoulder faring any better?
It's nearly healed completely, even with all the work we're doing. I didn't know what Lily puts in that salve, but it works like a miracle. Speaking of, lass, how fares that wound across your eyes? That's good to hear. I'm glad to know it's healing well. There's a few things Lily's got in her cave for the pain if you still need them. Claw, we're going back to the cave. I need to tend to the lass. We'll be back later.
I'll stay here. There's more work to be done. If you can, fill me flask with fresh water while you're in there.
Of course. It won't be too long. We'll bring you some food too. Aye, lass. Can you follow my voice? Or would you prefer to hold on to my arm? That's not a problem. Hold on to me, and I'll lead you. You know, lass, I never thought I would have found myself breaking bread with that pirate. He's got away with words. Perhaps he was a gentleman after all. I suppose if you can forgive him for trying to steal you away, he could forgive me for taking his hand. Right here. Be careful with that step. Alright, lass. Sit down right here and take a sip of this. Lily said that it would help with the pain. Now, let me take those bandages from you. Let's see how you're doing. Well, damn me. The wound's scarred over completely. Not a sign of festering of any sort either. You healed smooth as silk. I know you cannot see yourself in a mirror, but you'll just have to trust me when I say that you're as lovely as ever. Do you ken if you can open your eyes yet? I didn't think your vision will ever come back to you, but if you can open them just a wee bit, we can find out. Would you give it a try? Alright, open your eyes. Take it slow. They've been closed over a month. It may feel strange after all this time. There. As slow as you want. I promise I'll not be frightened by what I see. Do you see me? Clouded shadows in odd shapes. And that's all? Well, it's better than nothing at all. Can you tell which of the shadows is me? Aye, that's me. Right before you. It feels just like you're looking right at me. Even if you can't quite see me. You haven't forgotten my face, have you? Aye, you can touch my face, if that'll help you to remember. See? My face is just as you remember it being. I haven't changed a bit. Except my beard isn't quite as neatly trimmed as it usually is. I hope you can forgive me. Were it my eyes that were taken, I'd never forget your face. Not in 1,000 years. I remember when I saw you frozen in that glacier. I knew there was something magical in you. I thought I'd found an angel. Even if that were the last I ever saw of you, I could never forget it. Nay, you haven't got to move your hands away from my face. They feel comforting, like something I haven't felt since I was a lad. And you haven't to speak either. I don't mind the quiet, as long as it's with you. Lass, you keep pulling me closer, as if you wanted to. Nay, I've wanted this from the very beginning. You haven't to say a word. Just kiss me. If you cannot see me, then feel me. Hold me closer.
Oi, Fletcher! What in the devil blaze is taking you so long? I see you're busy. I'll make myself scarce.
We were just,
Your mother would be proud. Oh, me Fletcher, you look like you'll be bringing me grandchildren after all.
Claw! How'd you wish, you scoundrel?
Well then, Fletcher. Just how long has this affair been going on for?
I mean, just today?
Nay, that's not the answer. You'll never win her heart like that. You're supposed to say, why, it was ever since I first laid eyes upon her.
Shove it, Claw.
Well, since you were taking so long, I decided to stop by. I think our ship is seaworthy. Would you like to pay the siren a visit?
Aye. Lass, what do you say to that? Very well then, let's go. Through the underwater passage. Just hold on to me and kick with your legs after we plunge. Hold your breath, lass. Ahoy, Lily!
Oh, you came at just the right time. I just finished working on something.
Aye, as have we. Our ship is nearly ready to sail.
You must have been working terribly hard. You haven't visited me in days.
Aye, I do beg your pardon. I should have made time. Though I have an important voyage ahead of me, there's always time to sing a song. And it would be a shame to leave this island so hastily, without hearing your lovely voice before I go.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were trying to charm me. You know there's no romance left in my heart. Not since the last time I left Immortal.
Aye, that I know.
The last time? The last mention that you once knew Blind Simon. Could it be? Are you talking about him?
Yes. We spent much time together. I didn't expect to come to love him. I used to think he was the one to fall in love first, but looking back, it was me. I just denied myself, because I already knew nothing good could come from love between a mortal and a monster.
How? Lily, I've seen what that man has done. Between you and him, there's only one monster, and it's him. He's cruel and willing to see all of the world swallowed up by the waves of the drift, if that's what it takes to keep himself in power.
I know, but with me, he was different. Before love, the first thing I felt for him was sympathy. For someone who was dealt a lot such as his to try and make an honest life and be beaten back down, it made me want to save him. Perhaps I'm too easily swayed by stories, especially when stories are all someone has. As he healed, I found a kindness in his heart, even under all the bitterness he had for his life. He told me he hated everything in the world but me. At the time, I found it charming, though I should have been worried. His words filled my heart so warmly that I overlooked the cruel seeds already growing in his mind.
And is that how you came to love him?
That was only the start of it. As time passed, I learned about him, and he learned about me. He admired me in a way, something that no one has ever felt for me before. I've only ever been desired, and only for as long as I was enchanting people with my song. But he wanted to hear me speak. He told me that though he was blind, he saw me as the most beautiful thing in the world. That he could have fallen in love with just my words, without ever having to see or touch me. I fell in love with that lonely sailor, but I knew nothing good would come of it. My duty is to gather and protect the treasures of Neptune until the coming of the next sovereign of the sea, a duty that I feared would outlast his mortal lifespan. I knew I would have to put my duty first and break his heart one day. It was inevitable.
So, you left him behind?
I did, but it wasn't a rash decision. When the sweat of Neptune chose its next master, I could sense it, and I knew I had to leave. I knew that meant the drift was coming, and I had to reunite the treasures before the world was completely overtaken by the drift. Now that your lass has the sweat, and I have the blood of Neptune, I could end the drift now, had I not been such a fool.
You gave him the tears of Neptune, didn't you? But why? If you were supposed to be guarding them.
The stone had already chosen him, though he didn't know it yet. I didn't have to give it to him despite that, but I still chose to. The day before I left, I told him that if we were ever separated from each other, that I would call out to him with my song. I was sure we'd meet again. I knew the power of the stone would let him sense the world around him without the need for eyes. I didn't know another way he could survive without my help, and I couldn't bear to leave him for dead. I loved him too dearly. So when I left behind everything he'd need to set out on his own, including the tears of Neptune. I knew there was something dark inside him, but I hoped that I had changed him. I suppose I was right. I changed him into a monster.
Well, did you ever find him again? I recall Blind Simon telling much of a siren, that he was sure he'd find again. But I never heard him actually say he found her.
I did. 3 years into the drift. I still hadn't found the lass and the sweat of Neptune she possessed. When I saw Simon again, all my worst fears had come true. He had turned cruel, using the power of the treasure to dominate and destroy. I could not bring myself to call out to him with my song. I couldn't bear to see what he had become, what I had turned him into. I could only turn away. I'd failed in my duty, and I'd failed in my love. My tears fell into the sea and faded into the tides. I had lost my love, and I was losing hope on ever finding the third treasure and its master.
Aye, but you have now. Lass is here with the sweat of Neptune. Does that mean that we can finally complete your duty? Won't the drift end once they're reunited?
Maybe, but it's easier said than done. Lass, have you learned to use that stone's power yet? With it, you might be evenly matched against Simon. You only feel its power sometimes. The first few times its powers awaken, it's only because you need it desperately. Your heart will call upon your treasure, and it will answer. It's not something that can be forced.
She may have used it before. When I found her, she was preserved in a glacier of ice. in a climate far too hot for water to freeze. Perhaps that was the stone's way of protecting her from the coming of the drift.
Perhaps. If only she could use it at will. You seek to challenge Simon, do you not? Battling him at sea is practically unwinnable. He can command the winds to stop your ship in its tracks. If she could control her power, she could command the ocean to freeze and stop his ship. I can think of no other way to challenge him in his dominion.
And what of the last stone? You have it, don't you?
That I do. You may see it if you wish. The blood of Neptune.
Oh. It's beautiful. Do you think we can use it against him?
No. I've already made the mistake of giving one of Neptune's treasures to a mortal before. The next person to receive this will be the new sovereign of the sea, once they're finally born.
Aye. Well then, if the end of the drift depends on us defeating Blind Simon, how do we stop him?
He's arrogant and proud. He takes so much pride in his command over the winds that he'll try and defeat you with his power before he tries to use his crew and their weapons against you. Use that advantage to get as close to him as possible, and pray that Lass can use her treasure when you need it most. You won't have to defeat his whole crew or capture his ship. You won't even have to kill him. All you need to do is take his eye and flee.
But Lily, how will we even find him? His ship could be anywhere in the blue infinity.
He's not far from here, just a few days sailing. I can sense when he disturbs the winds with his power, but he's sailing away, and you'll never be able to catch up to a ship that always has the wind on its side.
However will we challenge him, if we could never reach him?
He'll turn his ship around. I'll make sure of it. My song travels far, and I know a song that he could never resist.
Chapter 7. At Thine Behest.
There we go, Fletcher! Raise the sails! It's almost high tide. We'll be ready to put her out to sea.
All right then. I reckon she's all ready to sail.
Let's hope that the trench we dug is wide enough for her. I'd hate to have to shovel more sand.
Don't jinx it, Claw. We'll sail today, come hell or high water. Well, lass, what do you think? She's quite the ship, even with all the wood and other parts we had to scavenge from the wrecks.
Aye, I think she looks even better than before she wrecked, now that she has cannons on her bow and broadside. A proper ship for gentleman pirate to captain.
And now, all she needs is a name. 'Tis bad luck sailing a ship without the name, after all.
Aye, it ought to be something grandiose. Lass, do you have any ideas?
The Chariot of the Furies.
Aye, the free spirits of vengeance in Greek myth. An appropriate name for our voyage.
Then the Chariot of the Furies it is. Hold this bucket of paint, lass. Help me write the name on the stern. Are you ready, lass? Remember everything I taught you about sailing while we were on Gaia's mercy? You've been practicing tying ropes blind, right? Good. We'll need you to be as quick as can be. There's no telling which way the wind will go, especially with Blind Simon about. There, she's complete. The Chariot of the Furies, come to bring vengeance against Blind Simon and all his crew.
Ahoy!
Arr! Lily, you frightened me half to death. Were you in the water the whole time?
Oh no, I was in the sea cave putting the finishing touches on something.
Were you composing a song?
Oh no, it was a parting gift. Wade into the water. I'll show you. The first one is for Claw. Here.
Oh my, what are these?
You're going to war, aren't you? You'll need arms. Those hooks won't do. These are 2 swords I restored. I kept them from a ship I wrecked a few centuries back. I fixed them to cuffs that you could attach to your wrist, just like your hooks.
Aye. Thank you, Lily. Fine weapons for a gentleman captain, after all.
And for Fletcher, take this. An axe fit for a warrior. Your timberman's axe is too unbalanced and not fit for battle. This one will keep you safe. It's powerful, and it can shatter a pirate's cutlass with a single swing.
Lily, you've got all the thanks I can give. Let's hope it only ever sees one battle. Once this is done, I'd like to see how it fares against timber.
And for you, lass. Fletcher tells me you're a cartographer. It's not a weapon, it's a bag of special clay, and an atlas for the blind. The prime meridian is set in the center of the dead winds, the one place that doesn't move. It only has the lands I've charted. The charted islands and continents are made from this clay, so you can feel them with your fingers. The clay can peel off the parchment and be reformed 1,000 times over, should the drift ever break or move them. I started making it 7 years ago, hoping to give it to Simon. But I think it's better off with you.
Aye, let's hope the drift comes to an end soon.
You'll have all my blessings, for whatever the blessings of a monster are worth.
I couldn't think of a kinder or fairer monster to accept a blessing from.
When will you be setting sail?
Once the tide comes. It seems to be near. I suppose that means that this is goodbye.
Only for now. When you take Simon's eye, bring it back to me. Use the blind atlas to find your way back. I have the last treasure of Neptune. Once the treasures are reunited, we can end the drift.
Aye, aye, Lily.
Oh, and make me one promise. Only kill Simon if you absolutely have to. I understand if he has to die. I won't hold it against you if you kill him. But I still want him to have another chance at life.
Aye, Lily. I'll do what I can. I understand.
Personally, I would kill him.
Claw.
Fine. But we'll only spare him if he surrenders. It would be unbecoming of a gentleman to execute a man who's waved the white flag.
Aye, fair enough.
Looks like that high tide is coming.
Claw, take the helm. Lass, unfasten the lines. And Lily, sing your song.
Whenever you're ready.
It's time.
There. He's sure to have heard it and turned his ship around. I felt him disturb the wind with his power this dawn. His ship is due south of here. Head that way. You'll be sure to find him.
Aye. We'll be back with the tears of Neptune.
The high tide is here. I'll tow you out.
Heave away! The wind is on our side. Fortune is smiling upon us.
Farewell, my friends. Make it back alive.
Farewell! And should I come back missing another limb, make me a peg leg from a sword.
All right, now we sail until we spot them. I'll keep an eye out with a spyglass.
Aye, keep your bearings straight. We never know when we could run into Persephone's bleeding heart.
Aye, lass. What do you make of that blind atlas? Well, when all this is done, we should chart out all of the world. You're a cartographer, aren't you? Once the drift ends, we could put together a proper atlas of the new world once the land stopped drifting about. I mean it. I'll be needing a career too. And I think that after all of these years sailing, I'm a better sailor than a timberman, in spite of what Byron might say. Aye, the crew of Gaia's Mercy must all think I died. It's been well over a month since I took to the sea in that old rowboat. I didn't think they could foresee a way for me to survive rowing straight into Persephone's bleeding heart all on my own. Aye, first thing once this is done, we find Captain Carmichael and we give him a fright. Perhaps he'll start believing in ghosts once he sees us.
Fletcher, get your spyglass!
What is it? Is the drift moving again?
Nay, I see a ship in the distance.
Could it be Persephone's bleeding heart? Nay, that's impossible. They couldn't have gotten here so quickly.
Well, have a look.
Aye, I spy a ship.
Well, what do you see?
It's a big ship, with a windmill on the stern. Claw! It's Gaia's Mercy!
Gaia's Mercy?
Aye. They're at war with Blind Simon too. It looks like they've mounted cannons to their ship. They must be pursuing him.
Bring me a signal mirror. I'll flash a message to them.
Aye, aye.
I'll flash them a distress signal. We'll see if they answer.
A distress signal?
I may not show it, but I've been scared out of my wits since we set sail. So, yes, I'll be sending a distress signal.
So be it. Claw, it looks as though they've responded. They're changing course to meet us.
Aye, that could be a good thing. Or not. I don't suppose they'll be happy to see the likes of me.
Fret not, Claw. I'll give Carmichael a good word on your behalf. He trusts me.
Well, let's hope.
Whatever happened to your gentleman's charm? If it can save you from a sighting, it can save you from this. Lass, are you ready to give old Carmichael a fright?
Ahoy! We received your message. Are you in need of aid?
Ahoy, Byron! I heard there was a pirate ship on these waters. I just wanted to know if the stories were true.
Fletcher? Is that you? Oh, Fletcher! Oh, I thought you were dead. Carmichael, come down here. It's Fletcher, he's alive.
Fletcher! Lass! Ye scoundrels! How are ye still living?
Let us come aboard. We'll tell you everything. Ahoy, Captain. How long has it been?
Fletcher, ye salty Scottish dog, get over here!
I see Gaia's Mercy's changed a wee bit since I last saw her.
Never mind that. How did ye survive?
I had a little help from a siren.
There ye go again, Fletcher. Telling the fairy tales.
It was not quite a fairy tale. The last didn't make it out unscathed.
By God, lass, what did they do to your eyes?
Aye, pirates are a cruel sort. I'm sorry, lass. I know it won't bring your eyes back, but We'll make them pirates pay.
Ah, speaking of pirates, there's one member of our crew that you've not yet been acquainted with.
Ahoy, Carmichael.
Is that who I think it is?
Claw! Fletcher! What are you doing sailing with that pirate? Have you gone mad?
Nay, he's on our side now. He's not a part of Blind Simon's fleet anymore, and he's sworn vengeance against him.
Lass, is this true? All right. But I'll be keeping me eyes on him.
Permission to come aboard.
Aye, but don't you be trying anything peculiar.
So, I reckon that you're after Blind Simon, same as us.
Aye, that we are.
I'm supposing we'll be in need of a battle plan then. The chariot of the Furies is smaller than Gaia's Mercy, but she can turn quick as lightning. Perhaps we could each sail towards him, then divide once we come near.
You approach him first. Lay all the cannon fire on him you can. While you have his attention, we'll sail Gaia's Mercy close enough to board. If he changes the wind in his favor, the ship on the other side can take advantage.
What if he stops the winds completely? He's halted our ship dead in the water before, you've seen it. And that wasn't even when we were facing him head on.
Well, then we'll take as many men and muskets as we can in rowboats, and heavy away as hard as we can, laying fire in volleys until we reach him.
There is another way. The lass can stop his ship. Maybe even make a way for us to board him once he stops ours.
What? How?
She's got power too, not unlike Blind Simon's.
And have you seen this power?
Aye, we both did already. The day that we found her frozen in the glacier.
So, you presume to freeze over the sea? Fletcher, don't be ridiculous.
There are many strange things upon the drift.
If what you're saying is true, then we'll surely make quick work of him. But if not, we should be prepared and stick to our plan.
Aye, aye.
And you, pirate, what will you be doing?
I'll be boarding too. I've lost everything when Simon disposed of me. I'll be slaying him myself, even if it kills me.
Very well. Sailors, at attention.
Aye, aye.
Soon we'll be facing Persephone's bleeding heart and all her crew. We will make it known that the blue infinity will be reigned over by pirates no more. Yeah! Where they be expecting surrender, we will give them cannon fire. We will shatter their swords with our axes and chop all of Persephone's bleeding heart into wood for our furnaces. There be no kings, no royal navies upon the drift. Only those courageous enough to fight against the tyrants. We are those courageous few. Let the downfall of Blind Simon show that liberty reign across all the drift. To arms, me lads, the hour of victory draws near.
Aye, Captain. I think it's time for us to set our course. I've heard news that Persephone's bleeding heart is due south of us and heading our way.
Aye, lad. We part ways for now, Fletcher. I'll see you on the boarding crew.
Aye, aye.
Raise the anchor and lower the sails, Fletcher.
Aye, aye.
How long do you reckon it'll be before we run into Blind Simon?
I dinna ken. It could be days. It could be hours. His ship moves in ways that cannot be predicted.
Well, we can't be too close. The wind is still on our side for now.
Well, lass, it seems this is the calm before the storm. You know, I've been meaning to ask since I've met you. You were in Rhodes when you froze, but that was an expedition, weren't it? Where do you come from originally? Aye, I've heard of that place. What a shame. I heard the drift split it away and sent it to the Deadwinds many years ago. I suppose that means you'll never see your home again. Perhaps sending the drift will wake the Deadwinds and let us set a curse for it. I wonder if there are still people living there. The lands within the Deadwinds are a mystery. Right, if ending the drift does not waken the Deadwinds, perhaps we could use Simon's treasure to call the winds and send us there. It'll choose a new master one day, right? I would like for you to be able to see your homeland again, changed though it may be. One day. And aye, you've got the blind atlas. Imagine all we could do with it. Sailing with the wind always at our side, charting all the world of the new era. You'll still have a taste for adventure after all this is done, won't you? Aye, you can still feel the wind in your hair and taste the salty air of the sea on your tongue. That's all you need. And if you care to stay by my side, you'll have me too. Aye, and I promise I'll be alive to see it all with you. I'll be your eyes, for as long as you need them. Longer than that even. I'll be your eyes until the day I close mine for the last time. What's that bloody pirate want now? Claw, what's the matter?
Get your spyglass. There's a ship coming in.
By God. It's Persephone's bleeding heart. She's moving faster than any ship I've ever seen. How could we have crossed paths so quickly?
Simon must be moving full speed toward the siren song. He must be going half mad in his chase to be moving at that speed. He's waited years to hear it again. He might even sail right past us.
We'll make sure that he takes notice of us.
Prepare the cannons! Take the signal mirror and flash Gaia's mercy! We'll soon be facing Persephone's bleeding heart.
Aye, aye. Have you got your bearings, lass? Fret not about the cannons. Focus on that stone. If ever there was a time to call upon its power, it's now.
Gaia's mercy has received our signal. Ready yourselves! We need to hit Persephone's bleeding heart as hard as we can before she passes us by.
The winds are turning. We're in reach of Simon's power.
Keep your bearings. On my command, fire.
Aye, aye. Cannons ready.
Hold. Hold. Fire! Well done, Fletcher. We've struck them. Reload, now!
Come on, lass. Help me reload.
It's changing course.
But I cannot understand where he's going. We should have time to hit them again once they cross our port side. They'll surely head for Gaia's mercy first. They're the bigger target.
Southern Wind, hear my command. Halt these ships.
Fletcher, we've stopped.
Lass, get down! The mast. Get out of the way, lass. Before it falls.
Why the devil would they fire at us first?
They want the lass. They must know that she's on board.
Winds upon the sea, hear my command. Bring to them a fog.
Did you feel that? I think Blind Simon called upon the winds again, but I didn't feel anything. He's called in a fog. I cannot hardly see past the bow.
Where are they? I can't see them. Blast it. We can't signal Gaia's mercy either in this fog.
He's using the fog to hide himself. He's trying to get the upper hand. But what is he doing? There's no telling what he's going to do. Perhaps he's coming to board us. Perhaps he's trying to sneak up on Gaia's mercy. I've got to keep a lookout for cannon fire. If he fires on Gaia's mercy, we could see the flashes through the fog and find out where to shoot back. That blasted pirate bastard. He could be close. There's no way of telling. Claw, get up! We've got to fire back! Lass, can you hear me?
Hello. Thou hast called, and I have answered thine plea. I am the spirit of the water. Yes, there is a way. Thou must but only command. So it shall be done. May a glacier rise as a mighty wall to shield thee from harm. At thine behest.
You've got to wake up. We need you. Can you hear me? Please tell me you can hear me. Hold fast, Claw. Something's happening. Is that a glacier? Lass, can you hear me? Are you awake? Was that you? Did you make that glacier rise up?
My God, what the siren said was true.
That means we have a chance. Look over. Claw. Gaia's Mercy is preparing the board. We have to join them. Come on, lass. Help me to lower the rowboats. We're going to need them. Lass? Where are you going? That's not the way to the rowboats. Lass?
Thy will be done. May the sea freeze over and make a path for thee.
I understand now. That was your power. How did you do that? That's incredible.
No time to stand in awe. Let's go! To Persephone's bleeding heart!
Hold on to me, lass. The path you made from ice is narrow. You could fall off. But whatever you do, don't stop running. The crew of Gaia's Mercy's on its way. We should reach the ship around the same time that they do.
Heave away, boys. Break your backs on the oars.
Musketmen, take your aim!
Row! 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 May their bullets be damned!
Eastern wind, hear my command. Bring us a gale.
His ship is turning away. Those boarding boats will never reach him. They'll all be shot down. They'll all be shot by the time they can catch up.
Keep on running. It's all that we can do. Lass? You really think you can do that? All right. Show me what you can do. I trust you.
As thou commandeth, let the waters freeze and hold the ship in place.
It's working. By God, it's actually stopped their ship. Alright, lass. We've got a way in. Follow me. There's a hole we can climb into.
Something strange has happened. The dry won't pump anymore. It's stuck.
Well, push it harder, you bilge rat.
Pump it as hard as you want. Persephone's bleeding heart will not be going anywhere.
Lieutenant, a boarding crew!
Not a polite way to greet an old captain of your fleet.
To hell with you, traitor!
A curse upon thee, timberman.
Onwards to the deck! We'll fight our way up to the helm! Follow me! How I've missed a frill boarding a warship!
Load those blasted cannons! Bring down that boarding crew!
Claw has returned! To the quarters! Bring reinforcements! The rest of you, show him no mercy!
Arm in arm, Fletcher! We'll keep their pirates back until the boarding crew arrives! We'll just have to keep these half-rate pirates away from the cannons!
That's a lot easier said than done, Claw. Go back down below deck, lass. It's too dangerous up here. We've got to wait for the crew of Gaia's Mercy to arrive.
Not so fast, lass. Looks like your Scottish guard dog is a little busy. Nowhere to run, whore. You know I told Simon we should have killed you at the Liar's Den and thrown the gem into the sea. Now, I finally get to prove myself right. This time, I'm going for your neck. Goodbye, lass. Blood. My blood.
Hold fast, lass! The crew of the Gaia's Mercy is here!
Grappling hooks away!
Heave! Heave! Heave!
Biden! Carmichael! You've made it! Now we finally have a chance against these dogs!
Winds above the sea, hear my command! Bring down lightning and fury!
Pirates, draw your swords! We've been boarded! Charge, lads! Swing your axes proud! Cut these cowards down like timber!
Fletcher, lass, go! You have to reach Blind Simon. We can only fight these knaves for so long.
Aye, aye, Biden. Lass, take my hand. It's time to face Blind Simon.
Ah, the Timberman. And you brought an old friend along. How very nice to see you again.
Simon, draw your sword.
No, Timberman. I think I'll keep it sheathed. You want to kill me? Go ahead. Take my head with that axe of yours.
If that's a surrender, then I'll settle for your eye and let you keep the rest of your head.
Oh, I'd sooner die than give that up. But be warned, there will be consequences to killing me. I've already commanded the winds to bring forth a mighty cyclone should I die. It'll sink Persephone's bleeding heart, along with Gaia's Mercy, and whatever you call that ramshackle ship you and Claw cobbled together. Well, what will it be? I'll let you and the lass surrender now. I promise I'll be a well-mannered captor. Or would you rather kill me and doom everyone else?
I'll lay down my axe.
Good. Shall I take that as your surrender?
Nay. I'll take the tears of Neptune if I have to pry them from your skull.
You fool! Timberman! I'll kill you.
The eye. I'll take it, even if it kills me. Boss, coming after us. Follow my voice. Into the water. You've got to trust me.
You'll never take it! I'll kill us all before I let that happen.
Boss, I'm holding him down. I cannot let go. I need you to take the eye.
4 winds above. Hear my command.
The tears, take them now.
Bring forth a mighty cycle. Ah! 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 No. No! I can't see anymore. I can't sense the wind.
It's over now. You've lost Simon. Let it go.
Please. Kill me. Just kill me! Pierce my heart. Drown me if you have to. I can't go back to my crew like this. I'm nobody again. I'm nothing. Just like I used to be.
Nay. I said I'd only kill you if I had to. You've been squarely beaten. Now, follow my voice. We're a long swim from Gaia's mercy, but we're taking you there. We'll decide what will become of you when we get there.
No. I'd sooner die. I'll drown myself before following you there. I'll... Do you hear that? It's her.
Simon, come back. You're swimming the wrong way. Lass, he's swimming out to a sea rock out yonder. Follow my voice. Swim as hard as you can. Simon, stop running. You're blind. You're going to lose your footing on this rock.
Lily! Do you hear me? Please! Please answer me.
I'm here. Can you feel my hands on your face?
They feel warm. Just like I remember them feeling. Where have you been all these years? Why did you finally return to me now? Now that I'm disgraced. Now that I'm... no one.
I loved you when you were no one. When you were only Simon. And not Captain Blind Simon.
Lily? I lost everything. I lost everything.
Nay, lass. We don't have to do a thing. Let Lily take care of this.
Simon, you have me. You once told me that's all you needed, that I was the one thing in the world you loved. Did that change after you tasted power and riches? Or is it still true?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought you left because you were disgusted by how weak I was. I wanted to be strong. I wanted to matter. I thought I had to rule the drift. I didn't know another way.
Don't worry, Simon. It's over now. And it's time for the drift to finally end. Remember the blood of Neptune I told you about? I finally found it. Now we have all the treasures together. Les, bring me the sweat and tears of Neptune.
Wait! If the drift ends, what will become of me? What would I be in that world?
There's no telling what the future holds, but you can be sure it'll be a better world.
I don't have a choice either way, do I?
Nay, but you have to accept it.
Then do it. It's time.
Thank you, lass. Water, wind, and tides of the sea, hear my command. The treasures of Neptune are united at last. Bring forth a new sovereign of the sea, that they may reign in a new era. Bring an end to the drift! It is done.
It's over? It's over. It's finally over. Lass, come here. Now we can do everything I said we could. We can travel the whole world together, charting every new land. There's so much adventure to be had. The whole world is open to us.
But now what happens? To me? To my life?
I left you because I had a duty to uphold. Now, my duty is finally complete. I can come with you, wherever it is that you may go, and never have to leave again.
But I'm nobody.
No. You're Simon.
Chapter 8. Leave her, Johnny.
I remember now. I remember everything. I remember how to call the winds.
Aye, it was an incredible story indeed, wasn't it?
But what happened next? All those years after the drift.
The lass and I wanted to chart the world of the new era. Lily wanted to find the next sovereign of the sea to pass Neptune's treasures down to.
I gave Fletcher the blood of Neptune, and passed the tears of Neptune down to Lass, with your blessing. After you and I were together again, you didn't want the tears back anymore. You were afraid you would turn back into Captain Blind Simon if you ever were to use them again.
Eventually, the lass learned to use your old treasure. She could sense the world around her, just like you used to. You and Lily travelled alongside us for years, while we sailed on the chariot of the Furies with the winds always on our side. seeking out the new sovereign of the seas as we charted the world.
And did you manage to do it?
We never did. After years of sailing, you and I decided to settle here. Carmichael and the old crew had built a new lumber mill in the forests not far from this coast, and we built a house and a workshop here. We started making and selling music boxes together. Each box played one of my songs, and you were finally happy.
The lass and I settled down too. We said we'd charted enough of the world and decided to get married and have children of our own. Those children grew up and had their own children too. We weren't done sailing yet, but we only made short voyages. To visit you and Lily, to visit our children after they moved away. We were through with blazing trails and uncharted waters. We'd done plenty of that. But for all the places we'd sailed, there's one place we never sailed to, but always wanted to. The Dadewinds. After the drift ended, the Dadewinds never awakened. Lily says it's because the new sovereign hadn't finished bringing in the new era. But we always knew that with the tears of Neptune, we could make a way.
Why didn't you? You had the tears of Neptune, didn't you?
Aye, that we did. We'd made plans for one last great journey. Though we weren't as young as we once were. Our grandchildren were growing to be fine sailors, and they were to crew our voyage. But before we could leave, my lass fell ill. I promised I'd take care of her, and that our journey could wait until she was well enough to go. Her homeland is trapped in the Dadewinds, and I promised her I'd take her home one day no matter how long it took. She told me if she never got well enough to sail, that she wanted to be buried there, and that she'd consider my promise kept.
So, she finally got better?
Nay.
Oh. You must mean... she's gone, isn't she?
Aye. She died in my arms. I got to tell her that I loved her before she left, and I told her that I would keep my promise, that she'd sail one last time to her homeland past the Dadewinds.
I'm sorry, Fletcher. I wish I could have said goodbye to her.
You still can, Simon. It's not too late. She's down by the shore, waiting for us. She brought a few friends along too.
Are you ready to take the tears back? One last time?
Aye. That I am. I can feel the world around me again. It feels strange. It's comforting. But it reminds me of being a person that I don't want to be anymore.
Aye. Fret not. You won't have to keep it forever.
Are you ready?
To let her go? Nay. I didn't think I'll ever be ready. But I'm as ready as I'll ever be. This way. To the shore. Can you feel it?
I do. I feel some kind of strange ship. A small sailing boat. But it's sealed off. And has no helm.
That's the lass's casket. She's been embalmed in there. And I want for you to call on the winds and tell them to guide that ship to her home past the Dadewinds. It will be that last final adventure that I promised her.
I feel a lot of people there, too. Who are they?
That's my granddaughter Mabel, with the crew of Gaia's Mercy. And some of the friends we made along the way. She's had a long life. We met all manner of folk on our journeys. Everyone loved her. She was a wonderful storyteller with a heart of gold. And she could sing well enough to put a siren to shame. We all came here to say goodbye.
Everyone, look! They're coming!
Biden, Claw, Johnny. It's good to have you all here.
Aye, it's good to see you too. And hello, Simon. Hello, Lily. You look like you haven't aged a day.
And you've lost none of your charm.
It's good to have you back.
And I see you brought Johnny with you.
Of course. I wouldn't miss seeing the old lass off. You know, I had to fight a dozen dragons to get here on time.
Oh, Johnny, you've not changed one bit, have you? Byron, did you bring Captain Carmichael with you?
Aye. I brought the urn with his ashes. Lass was at his funeral 10 years ago. I thought it only fair he came to see her off too.
I recognize these people. But there's even more that I don't.
Fret not. It's not your memory. She had many dear friends. You could not have met them all. And now, I suppose it's time to say goodbye. Would you let me share a few words with her before I see her off?
Take all the time you need.
So, this is it? Your last journey? Lads, if you can hear me from heaven, I did it. I kept my promise to you. Same as every other promise I've ever made. Same as the promise I made when I said I'd love you till death did us part. And I still love you, lass. You were everything I ever wanted. I couldn't have asked for more. I know I already got my happy ending and everything I ever wanted. But even after all that, I still wish you could have stayed by my side. Just a wee bit longer. I always knew I'd have to say goodbye one day. I'm not ready. But I'll never be ready. I've got to send you home, lass. Don't worry. You'll be seeing me again one day. Simon, call the wind.
Southern wind, hear my command. Guide this ship past the dead winds. Lay this woman to rest in her homeland.
And now, all I have to do is let go. Once I push this ship into the sea, her final journey begins.
Grandfather?
I cannot do it. I cannot let her go.
Fletcher, she always loved singing, didn't she?
Aye, that she did.
Don't you think she'd want to stay together with us? Just long enough for one more song. I thought I heard the old man say, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Tomorrow you will get your pay, and it's time for us to leave her. Fletcher, I can't sing alone.
Aye. She'd want me to sing too, wouldn't she?
Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, the tide has gone and the sea is low. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Yet once again the shore will go, and it's time for us to leave her.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Her final voyage finally came. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. But we, the crew, will sail again, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow.
And it's time for us to leave her.
What happens now? Didn't you and Grandmother still have unfinished business before you stopped sailing?
Aye, that we did. I still have to give the treasures of Neptune to the next sovereign of the sea. I'm an old man now. I'm all done sailing. As strong as the blood of Neptune has kept me for all these years. I need someone to find the next sovereign of the sea. Who knows how long it will take to even discover who he or she is. I could be dead before we even find out who.
Are you saying you want to find them?
What I'm saying is I want you to find them. You're a good sailor, Mabel. I'll let you chart the course. One day, I'll be gone too, same as your grandmother. Who knows if Simon will still be around by then to send me to meet my lass. I'll be damned if I'm not buried by her side. When I go, I want the sovereign to send me away.
But what will we sail?
Someone that I loved very much told me that I was to give something to you when the time came. That gift is named the Chariot of the Furies, and I think the old girl has one last adventure left in her.